All right, this video, you can check it out. The real reason you don't fit in by Lion of Judah. It's YouTube, check it out. But this part at 1 minute, 57 seconds. I just gotta bring this to light.
Number. I've had church members say, how can we get the world to like us better? And the answer is, be worldly. That's the only way they're going to like you. Jesus said, the world hated me and it will hate you. That means if you're like Jesus, the world will hate you. Period. And if it doesn't, it's because you're not like it. You have two choices. You can either please God the Father or you can please the world. But you cannot please both because they're opposite ends of the pole and they do not mix. You will either offend God or offend the world. Make up your mind, you can't be both. You read the story of the healing of
Yeah. That's what it is. Let me rewind that. Basically, that's what I've been seeing. The body of Christ, the church today, they're like trying to sell out. They're trying to like be likable by the world, by the secular society, by the world, man. They're trying to be likable. How can we be more accepted into society, into the world? You can't. And John Hagee pretty much said it. You can't be accepted by the world. You got to choose which. It's either or. It's either God or the world. You can't choose both. It doesn't work. If you choose both, guess what? It corrupts the church. The body of Christ is corrupted. That's why I can see why there's so many Christian narcissists nowadays, and a lot of Christians with the Jezebel spirit too, with their manipulative behavior. I can see why now, because you're a mixture. You're mixing with trying to be like accepted and qualified and liked, be likable in the world, but then you're selling out because you're watering down the gospel and you're diluting the truth now in order to be a people pleaser rather than a God pleaser. You don't want to like. You're pretty much being a spiritual Judas Iscariot. You just pretty much betrayed the gospel, or you pretty much betrayed the truth for the sake of being liked or money or like status or popularity or whatever, because you want to be liked. So you just committed spiritual suicide, just like Judas Iscariot, who committed suicide. So you're experiencing spiritual suicide. Yeah, so this is what I've been seeing this. I've been noticing this, seeing how the global church today is looking like this. They're trying to be likable by the world. You know, I can see why they're trying to do that, because they're like, oh, we're trying to spread the gospel everywhere. We're all over the U.S. and all over the world and stuff. But yes, that's good. That's very good. But these people lack discernment when y'all do that, because you don't know how to like stand for truth as I guess for salt. Yeah, preserve. But then you can't dumb it down. You can't like dilute it, or else then now it's not even Christianity anymore. It's like for something else, man. It's like something else. And yeah, and then maybe I can see how some of these Christians, like, they're like quiet when it comes to like social issues, social justice issues and stuff like that. They're silent about it because they're like, oh, we want to kind of like, like be lovey-dovey and stuff. But then it's like diluting what the word is about. You gotta say something. You gotta mention it, and not like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I've been noticing this stuff, and they're like, and then they think, and then when I actually talk about it, like,
that's the only way they're going to like you.
When I talk about it, y'all, everyone seems like Seems like people think I'm in the wrong. And you're like, no, you're in the wrong, Silas. No, bro, you guys lack discernment. And yeah, dude. Let me point it out again.
It's a sincere number. I've had church members say, how can we get the world to like us better? And the answer is, be worldly. That's the only way they're going to like you. Jesus said, the world hated me and it will hate you. That means if you're like Jesus, the world will hate you. Period. And if it doesn't, it's because you're not like him. You have two choices. You can either please God the Father or you can please the world. But you cannot please both because they're opposite ends of the pole and they do not mix. You will either offend God or offend the world. Make up your mind, you can't be both. You read.
Let me say that again. Look, now, okay. Okay, right here again. Look, let me.
It's a sincere number. I've had church members say, how can we get the world to like us better? And the answer is, be worldly. That's the only way they're going to like you.
Yeah. Do you know what it means to be worldly? I looked it up in the dictionary. What is it? Webster's College Third Dictionary or something like that. And to be worldly means to be sophisticated or cosmopolitan. To be a cosmopolitan, which means to be sophisticated. You have a sophisticated and you're intellectual and you come off intelligent and talented and gifted and have all these attributes to make you look sophisticated. That's what it means to be worldly. So when you see, though that's what the world is about too, that multicultural, cosmopolitan sophistication with education, prestigious education, top of the art, state of the art, status quo, elitism, hierarchy, all of that, man. That cosmology of that world, that culture. And if you're part of that world, they also expect you to be sophisticated. What's the and so what does sophistication lead to? It leads to narcissism and pride, self-image, public figure, public image, selfism, egocentric, pride, man, self-entitlement. This is what it leads to. And the opposite of being a narcissist is humility and meekness and to be like a servant leader, right? And that's why to a narcissist, also known as a wolf / Pharisee / wolf in sheep's clothing, they do not like anything that has to do with humility or meekness, because, as you know, it's the opposite poles of the spectrum. So the ultimate narcissist is Satan, Lucifer. And the opposite of Lucifer is Jesus Christ, the most humble man in the world. And so that's why they hate each other. Satan hates Jesus for real. So does Jesus. Jesus does not like Satan at all. And so with this, going back to what I'm saying, like, yeah, you want to be accepted by the world. You want to be, basically, if you're trying to be accepted to the world because you're trying to be sophisticated, then you have to also be sophisticated to be worldly. Sophistication. But that's...
Jesus said, the world hated me and it will hate you.
Yeah. You know why? I really studied this part in the scriptures. Jesus said, the world hated me and it will hate you. Yeah, because the world is a narcissistic culture, narcissistic society, cosmopolitans, all about sophistication, all about pride and power and status and like, oh, I'm better than you and all that stuff, self-entitlement. And if you're not about that, then they hate you. They don't like you. They see you. They disrespect you. They think you're like inferior. Like they look down on you, and so they don't like that. They don't like anyone who's opposite of that. And so, like Jesus says, The world hated me. Yes, the world hated Jesus because Jesus wasn't about that. He wasn't trying to like, fluff himself up. He wasn't trying to look like, he didn't care about that. He was more for the commoners, the common people who had a soft heart, who was lowly, and that was his main ministry. And so, like, Jesus says, the world hated me and it will hate you. So if you follow Jesus Christ, you're a disciple. That means, yeah, the world does not like the real Christians. Pretty much the real Christians are the ones who follow just like Jesus. Okay.
That means if you're like Jesus, the world will hate you. Period. And if it doesn't, it's because you're not like him. You have two.
Yeah. That's right there. He said it. If you're a Christian and the world does not hate you, that means you look like the world. You look just like the world. You don't look like Jesus. Yeah, that's crazy. You're a disciple of Jezebel. God has children, the children of God. Well, guess what? Jezebel, she has children. Anyone can be a child of Jezebel, if you think about it. Because who do you listen to more? Jezebel is the spirit. It's like basically a demon. The spirit of sophistication. It's the spirit of pride and power and status. So I'm not surprised that American Christians living in America, who do they listen to more? Because we're surrounded by social media and all this, all this technology and power and money and all that status, whatever. But I guess at the end of the day, which one do you prioritize more? I used to be there too. I know what's it like being following that trajectory. It's confusing, and you lack discernment. But then at the end of the day, once you finally understand like what Jesus was about and why you got to make a choice. You're like, yeah, is it Jesus or is it your way? And if you choose your way, well, guess what? That's the world then. And then you're going to be likable. You're going to be liked by the world. And so anyways, going back to what I'm saying, that's when John Hagee, he's talking about this stuff. He's like, if you're a Christian and the world likes you, or if the world does not hate you, if they're not offended, if wherever you go in your secular society and the narcissists around you, because there's so many narcissists in the world, of course, that's where they like to stay. That's where they stay. And most narcissists are Democrats. That's a fact. And there's a reason why narcissists like to live in Democrat areas, Democrat counties, Democrat states, because they know they wouldn't make it out in the real Christian areas, which is the Republican areas. That's a fact. That's why there's a political divide in America. Anyways, but my point is, if you're a believer, if you're a Christian, and the world, and when you go out and about in secular society, as narcissists, they like you, they like to hang out with you. That means you don't look anything like Jesus Christ. That means you're not a disciple of Jesus Christ. That means you don't,
Choices. You can either please God the Father or you can please the world, but you cannot please both because they're opposite ends of the pole and they do not mix. You will either offend God or offend the world. Make up your mind, you can't be both.
Yeah, man. Make up your mind. And I know, and it takes a journey, because I know it took me a journey to get to this, to arrive to this realization. And yeah.